Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Welcome to yet another edition of this morning on ITV. On the discussion segment, we want to take a look at the state of the nation, security situation in the country. Take a look at what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. You get to see that the stories are not really palatable. You get to hear about the train bomb. You get to hear about, scores killed, scores kidnapped. You get to hear also about many persons complaining about security situation. You get to hear market being attacked. You get to hear individuals losing their lives. People have been talking so much about it. It got so to the extent that a governor in one of our states was saying that they need to go hire mercenaries, foreign mercenaries, to come help them fight terrorists. But the military, they're against it. But the governor is still insisting that the best way to go about this is to go out there. I mean, 7 northern governors are saying, let's go hire some tough guys, some top trained military personnel that will work for the money to help us clear these terrorists. The consideration of going to the forest, the Zambiza forest, chase them out of their hideouts, and so many ideas have been popping up from various sectors. That is on one hand. On the other hand, go to the southeast. You know the story too well. Local government headquarters burned, police stations burned, some persons losing their lives, some being kidnapped, despite the fact that Governor Chukwuma Soludo said, look, from Monday, but they resume work. With all these things happening, do you think the children in Anambra State or the citizens in Anambra State will obey the governor, or they will still obey the sit-at-home rule because of what is happening? I mean, it's like it's getting scarier, it's getting crazier. People like saying, how come the intensity of this insecurity right now is on a high note? What is really going on? Is it connected or unconnected to the elections that Nigeria will be conducting very soon, talking about 2023 election? So more or less sabotage also in our security outfit. What's your take in all of this? With me here in the studio, I have veterans, top-notch political analysts. They're going to share their opinions and, of course, their views on this particular topic. I want to start my introduction by introducing Gabriel Ehigato. Welcome to TMI on this edition. Pleasure to come in, Gabriel.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. So very close to Gabriel. He is a political analyst, a politician, and entrepreneur. Join me to welcome Dr. Samson Isibo. That is Dr. PhD. Welcome to TMI.
I greet you, my brother. I greet our people outside there.
Okay.
Good morning.
And of course, to my far left, he is an entrepreneur, a politician, a youth mobilizer, a youth leader. Join me to welcome Samuel Ehigato. Good morning and welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Wilson.
All right.
Good morning, viewers.
All right. It's like I have 2 Ehigatos with me in the building.
I was shocked too when I said that.
All right. I want to start off with Dr. Samson Isibo. Yes. How to start off with you? I mean, you are a politician, maybe observing trend. You might have seen it on the news. You might have heard about it. You might have even had experience of this security situation in the country. What the dimension is going with right now, from what is really going, it's like there's an increase in propensity, the boldness of these terrorists is becoming unmatched, unparalleled. It's like they are coming to do whatever they want to do. And it is like, people like saying that, are we so weak to stop these people? Take it up from there.
Thank you very much. It is not surprising that we are having this type of development in our country. Because right from the onset, when this thing started, they said a smoke without fire. Abi?
There's no smoke without fire.
So we've been following the events right from day one when this thing started, from Boko Haram to the coming of the government of President Buhari. It was that time that the whole thing escalated. Why? We had rumors that some people during the election of 2015 imported these people from outside the country to come and vote for them, and if it doesn't go their own way, they should carry out all those evil acts. And by what we heard, that after, fortunately, they won the election, they were not settled, they were not given what they debated for. And that's why they went inside the bush, and they said they will not go back to their country, that they are going to get what they promised them. And that's what, and this thing has continued to escalate every day. And the powers that be, they know how to settle them. Nothing. We only heard, kill them, disseminate them, this and that. For how long? They have been hearing this order. Kill them, disseminate them, bomb them. Even of recent, the governor of Kaduna, whom you are saying, said, any person inside the bush, kill them. And this is the same governor that went against southern governors, especially on those state governors, when that one said, all the bandits inside the bush, all the legal occupants inside their forest, they should come out. The governor of Kaduna said, no, that is unfair. Everybody has the right to stay in anywhere, whether in the bush or inside the hole. You see? So it's now eating its vomit again. You see? So the problem is there. It can be solved within a month if the right perspective is taken.
All right, we'll come to the solutions later. Okay, Gabriel, what do you feel about this?
Well, it's so fortunate that we have gotten to this junction of our existence as a nation, where sets of persons are killing the citizens of this country, and we are calling them bandits. These are terrorists, for crying out loud. These are terrorists. These are not bandits. These are not area boys. These are terrorists by our standard, by our international principle standard. These are terrorists. But I wonder why we continue calling them bandits. I wonder. Yes, so the security situation of this country that has been so bad after the time of Goodluck Jonathan, with due respect, but it became worse when Muhammadu Buhari came into power. These set of persons have occupied our land illegally. They've taken over our territories, and we were all looking at them when they started. There was no critical approach to disseminate them. They were used for election. That's why I think El-Rufai statement very critical. When people continue to instigate El-Rufai and castigate it, El-Rufai have more facts and regards of the insecurity of this nation than any other governor. He has it in his bare house. He has proven that over time, that these people were mercenaries that came all the way from Niger, Cameroon, and some other nations. They came into Nigeria to help galvanize the elections. And now they were not paid, they were not settled, they cannot leave the land. This is not the first El-Rufai is making statement in regard to the security situation of this country. He has made several statements, and the government are not taking them serious. I've never taken El-Rufai serious or anybody serious. But it is because those government officials also have a hand in this insecurity issue.
Since they cannot prove that, I want us to not to dwell on that. If you look at the statement of El-Rufai, yes. El-Rufai made a statement after the Kaduna airport invasion. Attack, yes. He made another statement after the Kaduna-Abuja rail invasion that we can no longer pay ransom to these bandits. So it shows that government over the years have been paying ransom to bandits. And when you pay their ransom, they acquire more technology ammunitions to fight and carry their businesses. So the government, to me, is never serious if the government do not even value the life of Nigerians. You saw not agree to that. No. But you saw the statement they made. For example, the Kaduna-Abuja train that was attacked. The Minister of Transportation wrote to me, Amechi. Before I could even get there to the scene, he said that Nigeria lost about 3 billion for the attack alone. Before I could even get to the scene, sir, the Kaduna airport invasion that took place,
When that invasion took place, sir, are you aware for 3 hours after the invasion, there was no official statement for the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay.
Made an official statement for the Federal Airport Authority. It was the military that came immediately.
All right.
I said that we lost so and so billion. So it's very unfortunate.
Okay.
It's really unfortunate.
I will come back to you, Gabriel. Samuel, first attack in that same particular Kaduna axis was at the airport where over 200 armed terrorist group stormed the airport. But according to report, they were repelled. We are thinking that will serve as deterrent to them, only for us to get to hear that there was a train attack, a bomb went off. We now started having conflicting reports on this was, made fact that some persons were kidnapped and some persons lost their lives. I mean, 2 attacks in one particular region, the train, the air. And right now, later we'll divert to the eastern part, southeast. But what can you make out of all this?
Yeah, listen, insecurity is a general problem all over the world as at present. It's not just only in Nigeria. But what is pathetic about Nigeria's situation is that we are not approaching the way it's supposed to be approached. That's why I really support what my brother said. You might not agree that when there's long term of insecurity in the country, the government is involved.
Well, they will not agree to that. So I wouldn't want us to bring in that hypothesis, please.
Listen to me.
Yes.
If you look at what is even particularly happening in Kaduna right now, I look at it like a rebellion.
Rebellion?
A rebellion act against El-Rufai. Why do I say so? These politicians, they have their own ways of acting, if not openly, but with talks, with bandits, with whatever you want to call them, the terrorists. I believe they are rebelling El-Rufai. That is why you see what is happening. Since El-Rufai came to power, there have been increased insecurity in Kaduna more than before. One, I think, has also a reason. El-Rufai is a fanatical Muslim in his own part. And Kaduna, for what I know, I lived there a while too, there are many Christians, a lot of Christians. Do you understand? And due to that, the most laws he created, he did recently, are affecting them too, the Christian there. So you might not be surprised that these bandits you call are not really Muslims. They could be Christian as well. That are rebelling. Listen to me.
You are not bringing out
I'm just trying to make it now
hypotheses and conspiracy theories.
Concentrating on the tribe, that they are Muslim, they are herdsmen, they are Fulanis. Sorry, I'm not supporting that. Don't direct it to one session, because that is the reason we are having the same problem in the West. Last time, the people that were arrested in the West, that get to kidnap and do what they said they were putting on herdsmen clothes. But when they caught them, they were Igbo boys. They were mixed up. One was even a Yoruba man. You understand me? So we are categorically criticizing some certain parts of the country, accusing some certain parts of the country of this crime. It is wrong. So let's look at it critically. Let us focus on Fulanis. Let us not focus on the Muslim forts there. Are you getting my point? Let's take a critical look at who are doing this crime. And the government knows them. They know where they hide in the bush. They said it by themselves. So if you know where they're hiding in the bush, why have you to use the military to arrest them or to capture them and ask what they want? Like the situation in Kaduna Airport. Do you want to tell me that in that Kaduna Airport, on that road to the Kaduna Airport road, there are no military, there are no police, there are not aviation police, immigrations?
All right.
They are all armed. And the 200 people was able to pass all these militaries and get to the airport and shoot freely for more than 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Listen. We don't have a police chopper.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
And every time we see the police chopper running everywhere in the air, they were not able to be mobilized at that particular time to capture these people, surround them, and hold them. There's politics involved, we say.
I'll come back to you.
The military themselves has to be questioned.
I'll come back to you.
The police need to be questioned.
Sam,
and our politicians need to be questioned.
Calm down, calm down.
Exactly.
Dr. Isibo, you heard him. He said people that are like doing this may not necessarily be from a particular tribe, that it may cut across tribe, that what we see happening right now in Kaduna is like a rebellion against the governor, El Rufai. After all, he keep on talking about we can no longer pay ransom to terrorists. Are they connected or unconnected?
I thank my brother, but I do not agree with him on 2 points he made. One, that they are not Muslims or Fulanis. What are you talking about? Who started it? They are the Boko Haram. Yusuf, a Muslim, who said that. What's the meaning of Boko Haram? They are education, you see. But even the one that happened a few days ago, the bandits, they were young boys of 18 to 20, were shouting Allah Akbar. Allah, is that Christian mode? So why are you saying that? Then wait a minute.
Hold on. So he has the floor. He has the floor. Let me explain.
Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, and they were shooting. And again, even in our state here, a few days ago, at what do we call it, by bypass there, they came out. They were the same herdsmen. They kidnapped about 5 people. A lady carrying her father's corpse to their village from Lagos to Asaba. They were kidnapped, and they saw them. They were Fulani people. And what happened to the dead body? The state command carried the dead body to their station, their headquarters. What I'm saying in essence is that this thing is primarily from the onset is from this Muslim hegemony. And who are those people from Niger? They are primarily Muslims.
All right, I'd like you to please play it down on religion right now for some reason.
Because you brought that in, I will leave that one aside to enlighten the people.
Okay.
So you are asking me?
Yes. If they're rebelling against El Rufai.
No, not only Rufai. What about the one in the east? What about the one in the west? What about the one in Edo State? Is El Rufai governing us here? It's just a conduit pipe that El Rufai for that segment, for that zone. He was encouraging them to paying this thing before. With Katsina State, with Zamfara State, they were paying. But when it got to a point, they couldn't afford it again. And that is not the major reason why those people are now heightening up their targets. It's because they were targeting at the president who I learned imported them into this country and refused to settle them. All
right, now enough of all this allegation against the president, please. We were not there.
I wasn't there. I agree. But from when 2 or 3 people talk about this thing, eyewitness and so on and so forth, there is a little out of truth in everything now.
It could be rumors.
Yes, that's why we are now having our problems today, because we are not able to nail on the head. You see? So we must say the truth, because it has gone out of hand now. The military are in quagmire, they are in disarray, they don't know what to do again. Pumping trillions of naira to them. They bought what do you call that, a Tucano for the Air Force. Tucano, what has it done? The more the so-called equipment, the more these people are more sophisticated, more determined to cause havoc. You see, to stop a train, it takes
a lot.
A technicality before you can stop a moving train with whatsoever weapons. So those people are sophisticated. They are being sponsored within and outside the country. So only God can save us. Okay, in our state now, we can see we are having the effect. The high cost of living. Our farmers cannot go to the bush again. Go about 14 communities. They are now taking shelter outside. Whereas our governor is supposed to move and keep these people either in the IDP camp. If it is in the north, you will see that the governors there will camp them in a place and be feeding them. But our own, they just show no attitude. That's the way to seek to the welfare of the masses. So that is where Edo State is having the highest inflationary figure in the country. Ordinary pure water. Go to adjoining states, it's still 10 naira here, 15 naira. Many things, full subsidy, you cannot go to market with 5,000 to buy soup material. Now why? So because we don't have the right person to govern us, to lead us. That's why we're having this kind of problem in our state.
All right.
And coming to the other state,
right,
wait a minute, second though. To other states.
Dr. Samson.
Yes, please.
Dr. Samson.
Yesterday,
this is where I'll say please watch your emotions, because right now.
Okay. Speaking the truth.
No.
Let me get my emotion because
right now, I've learned that the
do you know that
Oyo
State yesterday, the governor bought 100 trucks, cars for the Amotekun.
Yes.
Where is our own Amotekun? If our vigilante people, they were not equipped, I pity them every day. I saw them. In fact, at times I give them my poultry 1 naira, which I get. They look they were not taken care of. And the governor will be saying, we have a network. Where is he?
Okay, thank you. I'll come back to you, Dr. Samson. Just hold on, I'll come back to you. But I believe the governor of the state is doing his best to curb all these that is happening in Edo State. The missionaries on the ground to really take care of these security challenges. Now, let's go back again to national issues. Of course, Edo State is part of the nation. We have our challenges also. I want to react to what Samuel talked about, rebel against El Rufai. From what Dr. Samson said, he said maybe some governments were paying ransom before. That was the reason why there was a kind of a reduction. But now he's saying it cannot be because they cannot foot the bill. Hence, the increase in the space of attacks and kidnapping by these terrorists. Is there an out of truth in his assertion?
Let me tell you, if the government is serious in curbing the insecurity going on in the nation, I will not be surprised when you start seeing figureheads of this country being involved.
Yes.
I will not be surprised at all.
I want to be sincere.
I keep saying it. El Rufai needed to be taken serious. He has a lot of information when it comes to insecurity of this nation in his hands. And over time, how come it's only Kaduna they are attacking now? They've left Zamfara for a while. They've left Benue for a while. It is not Kaduna. It is
a few days ago there was an attack in Benue too.
No, for Benue. For Benue, it is mostly the farmer kind of farmer herdsmen clash. But this, we are talking about terrorists.
Attack.
To attack a moving train. That's what Dr. Sansi said. There's a lot of technicality. Have you seen a train moving? People in flip of an eye, the train have passed away. But these people attack them, and here you are calling them bandits. I wonder where that name came from, with that branding, bandits. When people are distracted. Now they've just attacked the airport. The next thing they may attack may be the Aso Rock. Yes. Nobody knows. The next thing they may attack may be the National Assembly. Nobody knows. Here we are calling them bandits. Bandits are using sophisticated weapons. Bandits are using AK-47. Are these bandits?
Well, they've been classified now as terrorists.
No. It is because they are not being branded fully as terrorists. They are not being branded. It is just individual crime. People are crying that the government is saying we cannot get pay ransoms. Wherever you see them, you kill them. It is because the security is governing. It's guarding the governor. If the governor were to be a common person in this street, will he make such statement? He will not. The seat at all that you are talking about in Anambra, even when Chasoludo said, come to work on Monday, they must have at home because they are scared of their life. Because they know that there is no security for them. If they come to work, there is no security for them. But the government have the security, and you are telling them to come to work. Who does that? Because the Nigerian government do not value the life of an average Nigerian.
Well, you just can't say that they value the life of Nigerians because they would not want to agree to that. They are doing their best to safeguard Nigeria.
Look at the attack that took place last week. Nobody was talking about the lives lost. It was only the common people on social media who were talking about the lives lost. The government never make any categorical statement recording the number of persons that lost their life. All they were interested was the billions that were lost. You saw what Amechi said, that we needed also about 3 billion to furnish the security apparatus for the trade.
But the security also is for the people.
No, that's not what you are saying.
It's for the people.
That's not what you are saying. It is painful, sir, that whenever budgets upon budget comes to this country, there's also corruption upon budgetary.
All right.
There's corruption on budgetary.
I'll come back to
and
you.
And that's a big problem in our state.
I'll come back to you, Gabriel. Well, Samuel, we are still on this first attack in Kaduna, talking about the airport, and right now, Kaduna also the train. Nobody know where they will strike next. But according to some reports, some security outfit, they had a whiff of this, that will be an attack, yes, on that rail. The Kaduna Abuja bound rail track. Yes, the report says that they may be, but they don't know when. And bam, it happened. El-Rufai is suggesting something. Yes, at first he disagreed with what the southwestern governor was saying about evac everyone in the forest. But right now he's saying the same thing. No sane, no legal occupants will inhabit a forest. Smoke them out. That's what he's saying right now. He now said, look, if this is not enough, if our government can handle it, we will go and hire mercenaries. Has it gotten to that?
Wilson, you got to understand the perspective El-Rufai is trying to talk about. It's trying to let us understand that the way the country is, the way the military architect is in the country, the police architect, the whole security apparatus, they are over-corrupt.
Over-corrupt, overwhelmed.
Over-corrupt. Because it is corruption that makes you not to act when you are supposed to act. How can you tell me you have an intelligence report, there will be an attack on the train, and you allow the train to be moving freely without making provisions for a quick action of the military in case it happens? Because if you look at the train attack, it spent almost 30 minutes. Those people there. 30 minutes.
More than 30 minutes according to reports.
Do you know what is 30 minutes for a crime? A shopper can use 5 minutes, 10 minutes to be in that place if there were proper arrangement put on ground. It shows to you that those intelligence reports were useless.
Were they useless or they weren't taken seriously?
They were useless because it was not taken seriously. When you don't take it serious, it's useless. Why have an intelligence report when you can't act on it? Another problem you have to understand with El-Rufai trying to push a point. He is trying to let us know the way our army are fighting these insecurity issues is not the right way. There is kind of involvement. I said it before. There's involvement of the military. There's involvement of the whole security apparatus in this terrorist.
Well, you don't have proof of that.
The proof is this. They cannot be acting for so many minutes and hours in such special places that are supposed to have these forces on standby, and they are not acting. There's something wrong somewhere. We got to ask questions. We got to ask questions.
All right.
So for me, the corruption high in the military, the reason of suggesting mercenaries, because if we bring the Israelites, for example, or bring the US military, for example, or the foreign militaries, they will not be playing a political game. They are coming there to do their job, get rid of those people, get those arrested, they can get arrested, flush those, they can flush out. After finishing their job, our army takes over. You get the point? That is what he's trying to suggest, which is not a wrong thing. Other countries in the world does it too. Brazil does it not so long ago. Even in the Asia country, they does it. So it's not a new thing.
But
it's not a bad suggestion.
But the question is saying that we will go into that.
The question what people is going to ask, all these militaries, all these apparatus we have bought, all these instruments we have been buying, spending millions, billions of dollars, what are they used for?
Thank you, Samuel.
And they're not telling us our army is so weak. Because I know of some special force trained. Because I do have a relationship with the Air Force. There's some special sport, they send them to Israel. They send some to China.
For
some
training?
To Israel for training. They call them special force. Some from the Navy, they pick from the Navy, Air Force, and the Army. Where are these people specially trained? Where are they? But they are being used to secure our presidents.
I'll come back to
our
you.
ministers.
I'll come back to you.
Our commissioners.
Sam, I'll come back to you.
Our politicians. Instead of doing their job, fighting the terrorists, the so-called bandits.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Sam. I'll come back to you, Sam.
Those are the ones that put on black. You see them sometimes, blue and blue. They are special force.
Okay.
What are they doing with the politicians?
Okay, Dr.
Sam,
Sam,
what they were trained for in Israel.
Sam, calm down, calm down.
That's how I said the question.
I know. Watch your emotions, Sam.
We should tell her I said the truth.
Watch your emotions. Dr. Sam, we're taking a look at what happened in Kaduna. Now, let's come down to the southeast. You get to hear about local government headquarters being razed. You hear about police stations being attacked, burnt, some killed, some bandits repelled, some killed also with bullet wounds. You know, it just happened that both parties, somewhere along there, they just licked their wounds. Security architecture, the terrorists, they have, you know, having a bite at each other, even in the southeast. It wasn't like this before. And right now, it's like it is escalating. What is really causing all this, from your own assessment?
First of all, Mr. Moderator, please always let me land. You are just after me. If not, I will walk out from your distance.
Dr. Sampson is still, but you know the rules and regulations governing the airways.
I know, but please let me.
Yeah, but I know.
Then you can correct it when I finish. Don't like to enter my nose anyhow. I'm not happy about it. So the thing has put me off.
All right, so please just come back, please. Yeah.
As you said.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you very much. As you said.
Yes.
Yes, the insecurity in the southeast has heightened up. The powers that be knows the solution. And what is the solution? Is the clamor for the independence of Biafra. We all know it. Not that because we are just cutting something from the surface. Go to the root surface of this thing and tackle it. Give them what they want, and there will be peace. The same thing Yoruba nation agitating for it, or restructuring. The thing will continue. Even though they built that local government headquarters that was run 10 times or 100 times, the insecurity will still continue because you refuse to tackle the real problem that is causing all these things. Some years back, it wasn't like this, but the thing has heightened up. Everybody's eyes has opened. See the way we are suffering. The people, go to Ring Road, I always say the people are suffering. They can't even afford a 3 square meal a day. You see people say so strong, if you greet some people say they will even turn you off. Because there's no money, things are getting so bad. And these people refuse to let us go, like the Egyptians, Israelites. Let my people go. Give Pope their republic, give Yoruba their republic, or you restructure the country. But no. And you are saying that it will continue now when you refuse to dance to answer their call. I'm not encouraging them to continue the insecurity, but that is it. Okay, see how I do say too. Something is germinating now, which the governor is supposed to put in the board. See what he passed the law of open grazing. We thank him, but there's a command there. What concerns governor? And to say he will personally be allocating land. What is his problem?
He's the number one man in the state. He's our security.
That's what I'm saying. Commissioners are there to do that work. That means he's having less work to do. What concerns government to be going to Bayanto, going to
reason for that.
going to Igolo, going to Agepan to say he want to be
he has the right to do so.
No.
He has the right to do so.
Give them his own land, but not the one from the communities. So that is that. He has not settled that place properly. That law, it needs review. So, but what we thank him for that, no roaming about with your cow, stay in one place. But he said he will be monitoring. Monitoring what? What are you going to be monitoring from here to
He's the chief security officer in the state, so he can move about if he wants to move about.
Igara. What can you be monitoring?
Of course he can do that, he's the governor.
We are all enlightened now. Solve this problem once and for all like other states. Have you heard about a kidnapping such in your state or in Ondo or Delta here? It's only in our state here. This is their headquarters. I gave instance of 3 days ago now, when they were kidnapped by the bypass there. You journalists, you play down this thing, you don't let people know. I will just walk into their hand. If you have been making use of this thing, people will know how to move to Waka. But you play it down as if you didn't know.
We give you reports on a daily basis. We give you reports. ITV give you reports. And what you get to see.
Only when you are praising to high heaven.
Dr. Sam, this is where I put my foot down.
Put it down.
I know that.
So I'm asking to IPO people or ECN to please mellow down. They should take things gradually. Because if they want to use the way your body they scratch you, it will be. So they should not. They should take it gradually, like the Yoruba nation. They do it diplomatically. They don't use threats. They don't use violence. So I think that is the way forward. That's Oludo. If he threatens them, it will even aggravate their people. So he should be more diplomatic. We like him. He should be able to meet the leaders of the IPO and discuss with them. That is the only solution. There's nothing, no two way. Or our powers that be in Abuja should hearken to the voice of the masses of IPOB and then give them what they want, which is independence or restructuring, and it will be better for us.
All right, thank you so much. Now, IPOB and ESN, they came up with a statement saying that most of all these things you're seeing happening in the southeast, that they're not part of it. That they're not part of senseless killing. They're not part of senseless destruction of lives and properties. Do you see a twist in all this, Gabriel?
Well, I think the Apple activity started like a litmus test. And before you know it was hijacked by unknown persons. Let me call them unknown persons. Because they are not bandits now. We have not heard that they are bandits. We have not heard that they are Boko Haram.
They call them unknown gunmen.
Yes, unknown gunmen.
They are faceless.
Faceless. And it's very pathetic. It's very, very unfortunate that once a peaceful state as Anambra, economically growing, very productive state, and that become a threat. Now they've entered the move. The bombing Nimo, the bombing of the president of the Indigbo, and the rest, the house rather. So you see that more problems are developing for the eastern region. For me, there's an adjustment somewhere. The activities of IPOB, because what prompted the activity was to drive all the demand of the Biafran nation. But now it has been hijacked by unknown government. So everywhere in media, sir, when there's attack in the eastern region, is unknown government they attack them. Why the northern region? It is bandits. So it is very unfortunate. But I don't know if the SAT, what they will call them, I don't know, or if the SAT will call them kidnappers. It's very unfortunate. So you see that the government is playing with security here and there. What is IPO even asking for? Is it not for restructuring? When there is, for the asset of war, doesn't mean that there is peace. It means there is justice. If there is justice, nobody will be clamoring for Biafra, nobody will be clamoring for the Yoruba nation. It is because there is no justice. It is clear, it is very clear for the blind to see, and not even for the deaf to hear, that the agitations of these regions, it is because there is no justice in our social, political, economic system.
No justice.
If there's no justice at all, and that's what people are clamoring. Look at all the parastatals of government. They are occupied by a large number of the northerners. Where is the standards? I know. So where is the implementation of the Federal Character Commission? So there is no justice in our land. And as far as there is no justice, there can never be peace. And let me tell you, the insecurity in the East is just belling up. What we are seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to continue that way. You will see what they will do to the Imo. By the time they are done with Imo, I'll probably enter the neighboring state of Imo. Of course, you'll be talking about River State and area. Then you will now know the implications of government opening their highball and watching this whole event. What I expect government to do was to call these agitators together, put them on the round table, discuss diplomatically. What do you want? What exactly are the problem? But you see government attacking them. Charles Soludo should be very careful. Just as you said. If he's not careful, sir, his statement will even aggravate the issues the more. The insecurity that's going to go, we increase the more. Because there is no blood. You can't beat a child, you're not telling not to cry. The instance already crying. So we need to call them to a round table. What is the way forward? What exactly are your agitations? What exactly do you want? To be frank with you, Mr. Sir, there is no, an average patriotic Nigerian do not want this country to dissimulate its origins. Somebody like me, I do not want Nigeria to break out at all, but let there be justice. Let there be implementation of Federal Character Commissions. Let the people come together. Because what is good for the goose is also good for the grandeurs. One center of the nation can continue to benefit. What others say, have you ever been to the Niger Delta? You will weep. It is a place that produced the golden hair. Have you ever been to Bayelsa? Only one street leads to the old Yenogua. Once it's 8 p.m., the light has gone down. Once you are after 8 p.m., you are already in danger. You are on your own. But there is a state that is producing oil for the nation. So I think the government needs to come together, put the people together, and let them aggregate their issues.
All right, gentlemen, in the north we have issues, in the south we have issues, in the east and west we have issues. The way forward, 1 minute each. What do you think we can do as government, individuals, and of course agitators, even terrorists, to make Nigeria a safe haven? Samuel.
Yeah, listen, we know the solution. We know the truth. But I always have one problem with Nigerians. We like talking about the problem. We never want to fix the actions. We never want to fix the solution. The issue of IPOB in the East, it can be simply solved. It's about dialogue, national dialogue. The issue of the Yoruba nation, it can easily be solved. It's about dialogue. The northern region issue is the same dialogue and expelling. The foreigners should be expelled that are committing havoc in our country. Our nationals that are among them, we should bring them to understand their problem. And the major problem we have right now, that you are underrating. This upcoming presidential election is kicking a lot of legs. It's kicking a lot of legs. That is why you see automatical more increase in the crime too. Because if you look at, if there is justice according to my brother, this is the first time they say, okay, we zone it to the south. The PDP said we zone to the south. The APC said we zone it to the south. The Northerners are fighting, no. The Constitution does not accept that. That means you don't want peace in the country. You don't want peace. If you want peace, it will be an opportunity to say, okay, let's give it to the south. Maybe it will also calm their nerves. And let them see how they will handle us the north as well.
Thank you.
It's not a new thing.
Thank you so much.
They might do a very great work.
Thank you.
Bring peace to this nation.
Thank you.
So I beg the government to do a lot of dialogues.
Okay, thank you, Samuel. That's the last line on this discussion. Dr. Sampson, your last line, advice to Nigerians and, of course, the parties involved in all this.
Well, it's not to Nigerians, it's to the powers that be.
And they are Nigerians too.
I appeal to them that they should do the needful. People are suffering. That's why more agitation will still come up. Solve the economic situation in the country. Now, you know that we are owing more than 40-something trillion. Me and you, we are owing. I think they said each person now is owing about 500,000 when I did not shop anything from them. So they should be more forthcoming and do the needful and help the masses. You see? And again, the governor, as my brother said, the many conferences, we have done a lot of these things. They should implement it, especially the Jonathan National Conference. It will solve the whole issue. But the Northerners, they put it, they don't want to hear anything about it. Then, according to you, I agree with you. This Southern presidency is a must. But we see about 4 of them now. Saraki, Tambuwa, what do we call his name? The former vice president. Pushing ahead. No, it can't work now. We are not done. It's our turn, the southern turn. And to go to either the southeast, which is the main, because that is what we mean by justice we are talking about. Justice, let the southeast have their way, and it will be well with Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samson Isibo. Well, Barrister, go ahead.
Well, let it be a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Not a win-lose situation. Even in family, his son and his father can have issues, but diplomatically is resolvable. And I think that's what we need as a nation. It's so much also unfortunate that we lack leaders that are patriotic. You know, leaders who know what they do, what they can do. They don't even get there. You know, the best leaders do not emerge in this country because the process of emergence as a leader is very corruptible. It's tiny. Just as I said, there's even corruption in budgetary. There's corruption in budgetary. When you budget 3 million to military, I said let's do one. Scratch my back, but let's make it 5 million. So it is a big problem. But be that as it may, dialogue can never be taken away from the table of reconciliation. And that's what the government should adopt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Gabriel Ehigato. I appreciate your wonderful comments. And of course, Dr. Samson Isibo, appreciate your comment. The strong man there, Comrade Aras Ehigato. Sabo, thank you so much for your opinion. Yes. Well, you've heard them. The opinions, theirs, it has nothing to do with ITV, but they did their best, despite the emotional outburst one way or the other, to follow the regulations governing the airwaves. Some said, Will, talking about Nigeria just can't help but to be emotional. Take a look at what is going on. How did we get here? And how can we get out of this situation? Gentlemen, thank you once more. Well, on the second discussion segment, we're taking a look at the stand of the House of Representatives. They're saying that bringing out 4 trillion naira for subsidy, they won't sign it anymore. What do you think will be the implication? Is this saying bye-bye to subsidy finally, and who will be the one to bear the brunt? My other analysts will take care of that discussion. Don't go away. Do stay tuned.